Hello BookTube! Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and this is going to be my January TBR for TBR Takedown 3.0, as well as the whole month of January. I have a lot of videos that I need to film and edit and upload. In fact, I just found one on my camera that I had forgotten that wasn't done, and that's my November-December book haul, so I will get to that as soon as I can. But since TBR Takedown starts tomorrow, I thought I needed to get this done and uploaded so that you can see what I'm going to be reading this week. And then as I have time throughout the week, I will try to get some of these other videos filmed and uploaded as quickly as I can. I also need to do my December wrap-up, my 2015 wrap-up, Ultimate Reading Challenge wrap-up, as well as tell you my goals for 2016. But for this video, let me just focus on TBR Takedown 3.0 and also show you what I plan to read for this month of January. And as soon as I can get to the rest of it, I will. I also need to draw for and announce my 100 subscriber giveaway, which is now closed. And as soon as I get time to go through and compile the list of all the comments, then I will get that done as well. I have some tags I need to do. I have some new tags I need to do, and it's just going to be a big year, so I'm excited. So for TBR Takedown 3.0, the first challenge in TBR Takedown is to do a book from your most recent haul. I'm also going to combine that with a book that is out of your comfort zone. Now, I filmed a November-December book haul that is not edited or uploaded yet, and this is one of the books that I got. It's called The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. I had not heard of this until I saw it on Kristen Gennaro Renfro's channel, which she used to be Reader Girl 007, and she was reading it, and the title is very deceiving. The description on the back says, "Take a fantasy bus ride through heaven and hell." Well, that sounds like something that might be a little uncomfortable to read about, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted to read it, but Kirsten made it sound like it was really good, and I thought I want to read more C.S. Lewis. I've only so far read The Chronicles of Narnia and The Screwtape Letters. I have another C.S. Lewis book called The Four Loves that I've been wanting to read for a long time, but I'm going to go ahead and read this one. It's very short. It has 125 pages. This will meet those two challenges. This book is also going to meet two challenges. This is the first book in a series, and it's also been on my TBR shelf more than a year. I don't physically have a TBR shelf as far as in my house. I only started doing Goodreads in February, but this is something that I've been wanting to read longer than a year, and I want to read this whole series, and I was able to pick up several of them at the Scholastic Warehouse sale that I went to in May with my daughter, so I'm looking forward to reading these. So this will meet two challenges as well. I'm also going to listen to The Fifth Wave. This is also the first in a series, and I usually like to have an audiobook going in my kitchen or in my car, so this is something that my daughter wanted me to be sure and read before we go see the movie later this month. Challenge number 6 is to read a book with fire colors. I'm going to read The Elite by Kiera Cass. This is the second in the series, and I read the selection right at the end of November, and I am looking forward to reading the next one. And the last challenge is to read a non-novel. So I showed this in one of my Christmas recommendations videos. I'm going to read The Joy of A Peanuts Christmas, 50 Years of Holiday Comics by Charles Schulz, and I'm looking forward to it. I also have a couple of other non-novel books that are kind of Christmassy that I'm going to read this month, but this is the one I'm counting for this challenge. Now, since TBR Takedown starts on January 4th, as I was planning what I would read for the month, I thought, well, what am I going to read January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd? And I knew immediately, really, without even having to ask, because I had been wanting to read this book ever since I got it in October when I went to a Rick Riordan live event. And this is The Sword of Summer from the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series by Rick Riordan. And I started this actually a little after midnight on January 1st. I didn't get a lot read on the 1st. We were pretty busy doing other things, but I read a lot of it yesterday, and I've read some today, and I plan on reading a good bit more this evening. I had hoped to maybe try to read it in the 3 days, but I'm about halfway right now, not quite. And so depending on how far I get this evening, I may just want to go ahead and keep right on reading, because I don't want to put this down. This is so good. I am enjoying this book so much, and I'm probably not going to want to put it down and pick up any of the other books for TBR Takedown until I'm finished. But this is a great book. I'm looking forward to telling you more about it if you haven't read it. I know several people have already read this, like as soon as it came out, and I wanted to read it October, November, and December, but because it's 500 pages and I had a lot of other reading challenges and things I was doing, I just kept putting it off, and I thought, you know what? On January 1st, I am going to read what I want to read, and this is it. So I have been having a lot of fun with this book. Also, on January 1st, on audio, I started Child 44 by Tom Rob Smith. This is the book club book for the book club at my public library for January. It's not really anything that I'm interested in, but it's been pretty good so far. I'm maybe a third of the way into it, and it's a mystery, but it's historical fiction set in Russia. It's interesting. I'm hoping that I will enjoy this more, but it's nothing I would have picked up on my own. It is just for book club, and so I thought I would just go ahead and get some of it out of the way right off the bat, and then I will pick it back up after TBR Takedown is over. Alright, now I have one more set of books to read this month that are part of the Sunshine State Young Reader Award finalist list for 3rd to 5th grade. You may remember back in the fall I read the middle school books, and then in November I read the 3rd grade books, and in December I finished the 4th grade books, and I will be doing a wrap-up of those. So for January I'm going to read the 5th grade books. They are Kizzy Ann's Stamps by Jerry Watts, The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom by Christopher Healy, Nerd Camp 2.0 by Alyssa Brent Weissman, Pie by Sarah Weeks, and The Hypnotists by Gordon Corman. So these I will read at some point during the month, and then I will do a wrap-up of all 5 of these at the same time, and that will be then I will have finished reading all 30 of the Sunshine State Young Reader Award finalists for 2015-2016. I did a little research, and I discovered that they do actually announce the lists in, I think, towards the end of April. So I'm going to try to get an earlier start this coming year and read more of them during the summer and stretch them out a little bit. I like doing just 5 in a month. That way I can, I have plenty of time to read those 5 and still read the other things that I want to get read during the month. So I probably will continue with this strategy of reading at least 5 of these middle grade books each month. Alright, so another book I am going to read, I got this from our bookmobile. We don't have a library here in my actual town where I live. We have to go about, it's 5 or 6 miles to the next town over, which has a library. We do have a bookmobile in our county that recently started coming to our little town. A different library is managing it now, and they have put our little town on their route. So on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of each month, they come downtown to my little town where I live. Well, that was Christmas Eve, and it turns out they still came on Christmas Eve. So it was wonderful. My husband was off, and he's never gotten to go to the bookmobile. The kids were out of school, so we put the harness on the dog, and we walked the 5 blocks downtown from our house on Christmas Eve, the morning of Christmas Eve, and we went to the bookmobile. My husband found some things that he wanted, and this was sitting there in their new releases shelf, and I picked it up, and I'm excited to read it. But it was just really a fun memory that that we're always going to have of going to the bookmobile on Christmas Eve, and it was a lot of fun. Something else that we picked up at the bookmobile, this is The Christmas Joyride by Melody Carson. I have not heard of Melody Carson before, but I looked her up, and it turns out that she has quite a few Christmas-themed novels. And this one's very short. My husband's already read it, so while I'm still got Christmas on the brain, I'm going to go ahead and read this one because it looks like a lot of fun. It's about an 85-year-old who takes off in an RV across country for Christmas, and I think there's other characters too, but it just looks like a lot of fun, and so I'm really excited to read it. Then I have 2 books that I have promised my daughter I would read this month. This is Gregor and the Code of Claw by Suzanne Collins. This is book 5 in the Underland Chronicles, and this will finish this series for me. I would have loved to have been able to finish it last year, but I just couldn't fit it in. So this will be the first series that I finish in 2016. As much as I hate to start another series, I also promised my daughter Katie that I would read the first Warriors book. This is Into the Wild, first book of the first series by Aaron Hunter, and I am going to read this if it kills me. I have started it, I don't know how many times, just can't get into it. I love cats, but for some reason I'm just having a hard time getting into this book. I'm going to make myself read it, and I'm hoping that once I get into the story I will enjoy it, and I think I will. I don't know, I'm just having a hard time getting started in it. A couple of other little Christmassy books that I found on my shelf when I was looking for a book to read for TBR Takedown for the non-novel category. I had the Peanuts book, and then I also remembered this book. This was in my Christmas recommendations video. This is a little book of Irving Berlin's White Christmas. It's got some stories and facts from the movie White Christmas, which is my favorite. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and read this while I have it out. And then I also just found this. This was at my bedside. I have some bookshelves in the headboard of our bed, and I have some books in there that I really need to get to this year that I've been putting off. And I found this, and I didn't even remember it. It's called A Christmas Wish. I have no idea where it came from, but it's a beautiful little book. So I'm going to go ahead and read both of these because this is such a beautiful book that I will probably give this to someone next year at Christmas time. I will pass this on. So it's really, it doesn't even have very much text. It's kind of like a glorified Christmas card. It's just got a few little quotes and things, but the artwork is gorgeous, and it's just beautiful. And I've never actually just sat down and read it, so I will be doing that this month too. I know that planners are really big right now, and I have not jumped on that bandwagon yet. But I am a scrapbooker, although I have not done much in the way of scrapbooking in quite a while. I don't even remember where I got this, but this has been sitting around my house for a couple of years, and it's called Reflections from a Mother's Heart, Your Life Story in Your Own Words, a Family Legacy for Your Children. And it's a book you can write in, and there are several pages for each month, but they're not dated, so you can just write in them on any particular day of the month. And there's different questions, like this one says, who gave you your name and why? Did you have a family nickname? How did you get it? Describe your childhood bedroom. What was the view from your window? So it's just different journaling prompts that you can write down some of your memories to pass on to your children. And there are, it's divided by month, so there's different questions for each month. And you just kind of take it through the year and write. Now, I'm nervous to write in it because my handwriting is not that great. So I sat down and answered the first question just on a scrap paper to kind of see how my thoughts flowed and how much I wanted to write to answer the first question, and then I just stuck it in the book. I have not actually written anything down yet. But the very first page says personal portrait, and you actually write down some facts about yourself and your family history. And then there's a quote at the beginning of each month, and then it starts the questions for each month. So I am going to do this year, and I think this will be fun. This will be a fun way of sharing some memories with my kids, because, you know, sometimes you don't take time to just sit down and talk about things that you remember. Sometimes it comes up in conversation, but I just think it's wonderful to write things down to pass on to future generations. So in addition to my scrapbooking, which I'm having a hard time getting done right now, I thought it would be good to journal some of my memories, and so that is one of my goals for this year. In December, I read The Outsiders, so now I have checked out the movie from the library, so I'm going to be watching that very soon, and I thought I would show it to you since that's book related. I also just finished Dune in December, and I'm going to get that movie from the library as well. I watched Dune a long time ago, and I watched The Outsiders a long time ago too, but now that I've read the books, I think I should rewatch the movies and just have fun reminiscing. Oh, also another audiobook that I'm planning to listen to in January is The Martian by Andy Weir. We have that checked out right now, but my husband has it in his car, and he has gone to take our daughter and dog to dog obedience class this afternoon, and so I wanted to get this video done real quick while they were out. So anyway, I don't have it to show you, but I do plan to listen to that this month as well. My husband and youngest daughter went to see The Martian, and I didn't go because I really wanted to read the book first, and then I'll I'll catch it on DVD, but I am looking forward to reading it. I hear wonderful things about it, and I think it's going to be very enjoyable to listen to. Okay, so coming up, I have some book haul videos. I will get those edited very soon. Show you, I did get a few books and bookish things for Christmas, and I also have some books that I bought in November, December. I will get that video edited and uploaded as soon as possible. And if you entered my 100 subscriber giveaway, I will get all of that together very soon. I want to have my daughter draw out the name for me, and we will do that on video and get that uploaded as quick as we can. But tomorrow school starts back, and I've got a crazy week coming up with TBR Takedown, and so I've got a lot of reading to do and a lot of stuff to do at my library. We do a book sale the first Wednesday of every month, and hopefully this will be my last one to be in charge of, and I will be passing the torch to a different book sales chairman after this, and I will be able to devote more of my time to other bookish related things and other things around my house that I need to do. Happy New Year to you all, and I hope you're having a great year so far, and I am looking forward to seeing you again in the next video. So I hope you're having a great day, read a good book, and God bless you.